What's going on, guys? Your boy Rome Leg is back again with another video. Yes, I'm back, and this fragrance review, man, I've been wanting to review this fragrance for a real long time, basically since it was released early this year, and I had no idea what it smelled like. And I tell you guys, I just got this fragrance roughly about 2 weeks ago, and I know some of you know already, but this is a phenomenal smelling fragrance, and I'm excited. I'm over the moon. I'm jumping out of my seat, as you can see, ready to review this fragrance for you guys. Y'all saw the title. We are talking about Ruby. Yes, Ruby from Kajal Fragrances. Yes, I'm so excited to review this fragrance for you guys. But before we get there, for those who've just joined the channel, welcome to He Smells Like Rome. We talk about niche fragrances here, luxury fragrances, hard to find fragrances, and those fragrances that's going to cause conversations. So if that's the type of content you're looking for, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you get all the notifications when I shoot these videos. You know how this works. You help me out, I help you out by providing some of the most amazing niche luxury fragrances available. So with that out of the way, once again, if you guys are ready for another epic fragrance review, sit back, relax, get some popcorn. It's about to go down.
Ruby is a tribute to love in all its forms, romantic, familial, or platonic. In a world often shrouded in shadow, love's radiant glow remains constant, ever ready to illuminate and guide us. Ever pure, ever yours, forevermore.
All right, guys, so once again, we're talking about Ruby from Kajal Fragrances. And just to give you an idea or understanding of what this fragrance was created for, you heard the intro and that nice little, I guess, monologue about the history behind the Ruby, and some of those things I didn't even know. I didn't know Ruby was a representation of love. I did not know it held such a strong significance behind the love of, you know, a person, love of a loved one, a family, or just someone you know. I mean, I guess you can kind of understand that given the fact that it's red, and red is usually symbolized with, you know, romance, love, you know, roses, candy, even a sexy vibe when you see a woman with a red lipstick. But to have this kind of idea that the ruby has this eternal burning fire inside of this stone that represents the idea or the notion of love is really unique, and I think is romantic. So when I smell this fragrance, I'm looking at the notes, I'm like, okay, let's see how this thing is gonna come off. My guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you have not smelled Ruby yet, I'm telling you right now, you can skip the review, go press add to cart button right now. That's how outstanding this fragrance is. Let's show you the box one more time. This is the presentation Ruby comes in. A beautiful white cardboard box with this kind of burgundy / red accent all over, and some silver accents on the rim and the side of the fragrance. I thought this was really unique. All of Kajal boxes look pretty nice, but take a look at the bottle. Yes, look at that gorgeous thing. This is absolutely in the same realm as Almas, and I think it's slipping my mind. I'll put a picture of it up here also. But the beautiful Swarovski crystals with obviously replica ruby stones in here, because if this had rubies really in it, it'd probably be like $20,000. But just that crimson red beautiful design is stunning, just like Kajal always does. This fragrance starts off with a lovely plush red berry note. The red berry is met with a combination of almond and also coconut. And the almond and coconut kind of make this really unique milky slash nutty vibe, but it also has a real subtle but present sweetness from the red berry, and I would say that almond note. The almond adds that milkiness with the coconut, giving that milkiness and the sweetness coming behind it, but it still has this kind of, I would say, more feminine opening, right? It's soothing, it's plush, it's sweet, it's inviting. But I think that opening has a very feminine opening, but it's really nice, and I enjoyed it. Right after you get into the almond, you're going to have a nice, juicy, sweet cherry. Now, the cherry in this fragrance is the stunning lead actor or actress in the movie. Absolutely. But in the opening, it is one of those things that I was wrestling with the idea of red, ruby, fruity, milky, sweet, and cherry. I was like, was this made for females? I'm not sure. After about maybe a good 10 minutes of letting this sit on my skin, the cherry, it wasn't juicy and sweet. It started to get a little thicker. It started to become a little bit more syrupy, and the sweetness jumped up just a little bit, but not so much. But that milky almond kind of feel became a little bit more creamy. And in my opinion, this vanilla note started to come in. So you have vanilla, you have almond, and this combination of those things, adding the red berries in there, gives this almost ice cream kind of feel. And you're adding that cherry. Now, in the opening, like I said in the beginning of the opening, the cherry was fresh, it was fruity, it was sweet, but this almost cherry-like syrup, this sweetness, it smelled like you added vanilla almond ice cream and you added some cherry and also the cherry syrup on top. I'm all over it. I'm feeling every bit of this. Just before we get to the mid of the fragrance, another fruit note came out, but it kind of went down into the mid of the fragrance, and that note is pineapple. This I would say not ripe, not super fresh, but very sweet pineapple. Combined with the sweet cherry and that cherry juice, you're now introduced also to a cherry blossom, which just adds on to the smell of the cherry, but it also brings a white floral aspect to the fragrance, which adds on to that feminine softness, right? I think what brings this back to having a wonderful fragrance and also introducing it to men is that creaminess from not only the almond, but the creaminess from the vanilla and the pineapple. The pineapple is starting to say, okay, we pass it around to the females. Let's pass this fragrance around to the men and let them smell it. Bringing that pineapple and that cherry blossom down to the mid of the fragrance. One of the best smelling notes I come across, and I've worn this now several times, right? This fragrance in church, I wore it going out shopping, I wore it going out just hanging out with my wife, and I'm waiting for this note that I'm just loving, and it's brown sugar. The first time I smelled it, it took about 20 minutes for me to get this nice, almost brown sugar powder, not just the dense brown sugar, almost a light brown sugar. And I'm like, are we going there? Are we going there with this? Oh man, the brown sugar in this thing came off my skin like we just stepped into an ice cream shop and then went into Grandma's bakery. Now, this is a unique combination. Pineapple, orange blossom, and brown sugar. Adding a little bit of vanilla, yes, but the vanilla became a little bit more faint. The cherry is through the entire fragrance, but it comes and goes where it becomes the star of the movie, right? But make no mistake, when I tell you this is one of the best unique versions of playing with fruits and playing with gourmands. Fruit type of fragrances you're going to associate with fresh, you're going to associate with citrusy, you're going to associate with something that's going to be more of a, I would say, playful, girly fragrance. I'm telling you, no. This has, that feminine identity when you start in the opening, but when you get down to the middle of the fragrance, it comes together and it is very unisex. So I painted the picture of the opening having that ice cream feeling, right? The vanilla ice cream with the almond and the cherry. I'm painting another picture. Imagine more of a cherry pie, right? Now, you're not the full cherry pie. A cherry pie that you just have one slice, you added brown sugar on the top of the crust, put it back in the oven and let the brown sugar kind of caramelize. Once you take it out of the oven, let it sit for about a half hour, cool down, and then you add whipped cream on the top of that. That is what I'm getting from the mid. The mid is a soft brown sugar, airy whipped cream, almost cherry pie in my opinion. Now, the kind of thickness from the cream, I'm not going to say thickness because that's going to make you guys think something else. The cream, the whipped cream effect is really airy. But once again, that cherry comes down and mixing with that brown sugar, I immediately just was thinking cherry pie. Not like tasting it, but smelling it. When you get to the Drydown, guys, the Drydown is, in my opinion, you get hints of the Drydown in the opening about 15 minutes into the fragrance. But once you get to the Drydown, once maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours of this fragrance, wearing it, you're going to get a very heavy hit of creamy vanilla. You're going to also get a nice warm tonka bean, which adds onto the sweetness of the cherry, the pineapple, and that whipped cream. You're going to also get a nice resinous benzoin that complements that resinous vibe that you're going to get from the amber. But I think that the benzoin adds a little bit more to that. Overall, guys, this fragrance is super seductive. It is very romantic. It is cut straight down the middle where a female can wear this and rock it and impress her man, and a guy can rock this absolutely. And if the woman is into those sweet kind of gourmand, slightly fruity fragrances, she's going to be all over him. The cherry, the cream, the nice soft floral notes, that sugary aspect, and the whipped cream makes this fragrance just all around just a stunning combination of gourmand meets cherry fruit. I would urge you guys, I would say absolutely, if you are planning on going on your first date with that female or that guy that you've been dying to date and he or she said yes, let's go out this Saturday. This needs to be on you. This needs to be somewhere on your neck, somewhere on your clothes, on your wrist when you're talking. This is absolutely a must-have for that occasion. I would absolutely say this would be a gorgeous wedding fragrance for any female. I think this would be a fantastic anniversary fragrance for either spouse. And just to give it to the 20-something year olds, this is playful enough for you guys, y'all youngsters, from 21 to 30, getting this fragrance in your collection. Everybody that comes past you or comes into your personal space is going to really, really love this, and I'm guaranteed they're gonna ask you what you got on. Now, this is a popular fragrance, somewhat. For those who know, You know how gorgeous this is. But there's a lot of you guys that have not tried Ruby. And I'm telling you, get it. Longevity between 6 to 9 hours. Is going to project for a good 4.5 to 5 hours constantly. The trail, the sillage, it's decent. You're going to get maybe a minute to maybe 2 minutes of a trail behind you. I worn this several times, like I said. Spraying on my wrist and spraying on the back of my neck gives me the most performance, because every time I turn, I'm getting a whisk for that. Of course, I spray it on the front, but the back leaves that trail, and you turn, you get it. But when I spray on my hands, I smell it. Every so often, I'm moving my hands, I'm talking to people, because I'm from Jersey. We talk with our hands. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, Ruby, stunning, must-have fragrance. I would reserve this for the fall, and I would definitely say you can rock this in the winter. This time right now, the summer, I'm gonna wear it because I love gourmand fragrances and I love those sweet nuances. But this is gonna shine just like a king or a queen in the fall. Trust me. Yeah. You can thank me later. All right, guys. That's it. Once again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys get Ruby in your collection. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. Help my channel out. You guys are the reason why my channel is growing. And I just ask that you continue to support me. I truly appreciate you guys. Y'all blessing. Thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for allowing me to speak with my fellow fragrance family. Without you, nothing is possible. All glory goes to you. One thing I want you guys to do is watch out for false prophets. Watch out for people that can speak well but don't use sound doctrine. Watch out for people that manipulate God's words to suit their own agenda. And the Bible tells you that there will be people that claim to be prophets and also claim to be Christ. And I fell into the trap listening to someone because they spoke with such poise and they had they were educated. And thank God for my wife and prayer, because I started to question some of the things this person was talking about. And I asked God to help me through it. And I tell you guys, stay in the Word, stay in prayer, and as much as you can, I would say every day if you can, read the Word, because the more you read, the more you feel in your soul and your spirit and your mind with the knowledge of the Holy Bible, and it'll be very hard for someone to manipulate you with their words. So be careful of false prophets, read your Word, pray, put on the full armor of the Lord to protect you from the schemes of the devil. All right? Love you guys. Until next time, like I always say, it's okay if you want to smell like Rome. I'll check you guys out in the next video. Until then, God bless. In Jesus' name, peace.